but this is what you've been waiting for these 2 weeks. Joining us live right now is the most decorated winter athlete of all time, and also a guy who is on board with Brrrn. It is my honor to welcome speed skater Apolo Ohno to PA Live. Welcome to the show, Apolo.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Chris.
You know what? You have everything under the sun in terms of medals, accolades, partnerships. You are the newest investor in Brrrn. It's the at-home fitness company founded by NEPA native Jimmy T. Martin, someone that we're very familiar with. Now, the Brrrn concept revolves around a thing called the slide board. What is that?
So a slide board is a device that we used in Olympic training, especially for speed skaters or hockey players, even figure skaters, for a long time. Effectively, it's a board that has two slabs on each side that allows you to increase your lateral movement. So as any of you who have watched speed skating, you know that kind of we move side to side, and our natural rhythm is typically walking in a straight line or kind of back and forth like this. And so that lateral movement's a really important part of kind of keeping our core strong, our knees strong, our hips strong. And I literally used it for over 20 years when I was training as an athlete, and continue to use so. And so when I met Jimmy and the team at Brrrn, it was a very easy fit. So as someone who invests into a lot of early stage startups, technologies, health and wellness and fitness, my love for at-home fitness is really strong, and it's a perfect fit. So I think sometimes, Chris, you know, a lot of athletes that we get sponsorship opportunities, sometimes those sponsorship opportunities aren't the most authentic or maybe the most natural for us. You know, I've been a part of amazing campaigns and amazing companies, but this one was, to me, what they would call like a no-brainer, just because I've used the product for so many years, and my passion for just getting people to use these types of things. As we've gone through this kind of pandemic the past 2 years, how do we increase our at-home fitness to make it easy, accessible, affordable, inclusive?
You know, you are, I mean, the highest of high when it comes to athleticism. If someone's watching right now and thinking lateral movements, you know, they might think, hey, I'm an athlete at home, but I don't really do that. So is that something that is common for athletes, or maybe even just the average, you know, health goer trying to, you know, work out?
Yeah, so look, lateral movement is probably the most overlooked and underutilized component of just movement in general. So with anyone who has had struggle in the past, you know, few years with whatever has happened, I always say, like, if you want to change your emotion, you need to move your body, and you need to create that motion by doing and activating all these things. And lateral movement's one of those things where behind the curtain, almost all athletes utilize these slide boards and components of this type of lateral movement often, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, running, track and field. And we typically think about this kind of unilateral movement in track and field, but actually a lot of the lateral movements are a really important piece in terms of keeping our body healthy, making sure we don't get injured. And it's just, it's something that's really fun. So for everyone at home who has ever seen their kids put socks on, sliding through the kitchen, now you can do so maybe in a more safe and more productive way that allows you to kind of tap into this at-home fitness and train with other trainers who have these live in-person things. I know you have Jimmy there in the studio with you today, one of the founders of this awesome company. And yeah, so, you know, in regards to your question, like, everyone uses it, not just speed skaters and hockey players and figure skaters, but really anyone who has been athletic. And for those of you who are not familiar with this type of movement, it's wonderful, super fun, really engaging, and there's literally limitless opportunities to work out.
Yeah, you know, hearing you speak, you can tell how passionate you are about the slide board, about Brrrn. And, you know, maybe people that are just getting started, that's sometimes like the hardest part for someone to create a good health habit, or, you know, so as a gold medal Olympian, do you have any advice that you can give to someone that maybe needs that little motivational pep talk so they can bring out that inner athlete in themselves?
Yeah, look, we all want transformation, and we all seek pivots and changes in our life. You know, I've been writing a book about that for the past year. And so if you're someone who maybe has had a hard time sticking to a particular habit, or having a challenge in terms of transforming from where you are today to where you'd like to be, know that, like, there's no real shortcut, right? The shortcut is kind of through the process. It takes consistency and time. And don't look for these huge leaps and bounds of improvement. Instead, really focus on just having the progress, right? Just getting up and creating these small micro wins on a daily basis. And consistency is everything, right? That's what we really say in all of Olympic sports is it's the small wins compounded over long durations of time that yield the greatest amount of return. So sometimes we spend so much time zoomed in because we live in a society that is like always instant feedback, and with our phones and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, we get these things in their kind of excess and get them right away. And so we're having to detrain that, because some of the things that are the most fruitful in our life are the things that require the most consistency, deep work and focus. And you have that ability, you as a human being. And the most powerful tool in the world is typically right between our own two ears. And so turning that on and maintaining that is a really important part towards your overall health and wellness.
I think the only phrase that I can say in response to that answer is thanks, coach. No, Apolo, it's so great to have you here. And, the fact that Jimmy Martin is from NEPA in our viewing area. You've also spent some time here in PA in training?
I have. I've spent a lot of time in PA. I have friends that live right outside of Ephrata. My strength and conditioning coach, John Schaefer, he's like a brother to me. He's kind of been through the fire, so to speak. He helped me transform my body when I was looking to reinvent myself in the sport. And I used to run up and down those Poconos, and he used to be on a little ATV behind me with a horn, kind of honking every single time he wanted me to sprint. So I have a lot of love for Pennsylvania. I have a lot of friends there. It's a great place to raise a family, and a lot of friends all over the state. So really happy to be with you guys this morning.
Well, Apolo, if your travels ever bring you to this area, we would love to have you in our studio. And just a quick breaking news announcement. I figure it's fitting to do it with you, Mr. Gold Medalist. Just yesterday, I found out that I was nominated for an Emmy Award with our local Mid-Atlantic chapter. So I'm telling the viewers now for the first time, thank you. And I'm telling Apolo Ohno, who would have ever thought?
Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you. And Apolo, thanks so much for joining us today on PA Live. And yeah, our viewers are going to be sticking around because Jimmy T. Martin is now going to be sliding all throughout the show.
Awesome. Enjoy it. Wish I was there with you.
We'll talk with you soon, and enjoy the Olympics at the closing ceremonies coming up. And you stick around. More with PA Live when we return.